Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Cam back at you again. Today I'm bringing you some really cool stretchy licks to try out to enhance your technique and generally give your licks a little bit more spice, if you will. Today I'm teaching this in standard tuning, and the whole purpose of this lesson is not only to enhance your technique and make your playing look really flashy, but it's also to try and convey what these licks did for me, which is give you a little bit more confidence to stretch away from the pentatonic positions that we feel so inclined to do, but also give you that shred edge, if you like. And I'm not talking about licks that make your hands do stuff like this. I mean, come on Ed, now you're just showing off, pal. Instead, they involve a little bit more little finger action, and they may feel really weird at first, but I can guarantee you they feel so much better once you devote some time to them, I promise. The first lick is a really cool arpeggio style thing. So this great piece comes from Andy James's track Enter Through Fire, and the way this is played is really cool. You've got a 3-string sweep and a collection of different hammer-on and pull-off patterns, and the way this works is you've got 19 on the high E, downstroke, 3-string sweep coming, 14 on the high E, 17 on B, up on 16 of the G, and then down on 14 of G. Not too bad, I would say. It's when it starts to come back up it gets a little bit weird, and in terms of technique, I'd recommend picking something that's comfortable to you here. You don't necessarily have to copy me here. I'm doing a hammer-on 16, upstroke on 17 of B, and then it's a downstroke on 14 of the high E. And then when we come back down, you're doing that sort of same sweep picking technique where you're going up, down. And then going back up the same way you did before, because you're pivoting on this up and down pattern here. And then all you're adding is extra notes on the high E every time you go up. So add 15 the second time round. Third time around, you're adding 17. So the whole thing slowly. Go whichever way you want after that, and then afterwards I ended up moving down a whole fret. And in this case you end up sort of resolving an E minor pentatonic, which is what I tend to put this lick in anyway if I was ever to steal it and make it for myself. It sits very close to the E minor pentatonic, so it's very easy to find. And when I move down a position, I'm taking the same pattern, it's just moved down 2 frets, but really good as a stretchy pattern nonetheless. This is a Steve Vai lick I really like to play. Now this one from Steve Vai is probably the easiest to get your head round because it's played in a very familiar pattern, but you're just applying a massive stretch to it. And for those of you who are watching, you know that sort of infamous sort of triplet lick found in loads of Thin Lizzy songs, Mr. Crowley as well, obviously Randy Rhoads. There it is in the pentatonic. All you're doing is you're adding a really big stretch on here, and you're going up to 15 in this case on the high E, and 10 there with your index. And what you're doing is applying that exact same pattern. And that is the pattern there. You can move that around into all kinds of different places, but the way I remember it is it's attached quite literally to the minor pentatonic, and you're just stretching up 2 frets to suit the key. There you have it. If you're a 5-Finger Death Punch fan, you'll know this. Now, this comes from the song Lift Me Up, and it's really easy. I'm kidding, it's not. It's the hardest lick for me to play because I'm picking everything. And the way it's played in this case, you have to be able to master a 12, 15, 19 stretch. So it's a case of bringing your thumb down and into that sort of spidery position here. Same goes for all of these licks. And it enables you to get a better purchase of the notes and be a little bit more relaxed. It stops you from cramping out as quick. And the way this is played is you're coming down in a group of 4 and then ascending in a group of 6. But because this lick contains so many unison notes, or the unison effect is what gives this lick its appeal, it's very hard to hear when slowed down. So if I put it in a pentatonic, all you then have to do is shift the pattern up to fill those notes, if that makes sense. It's easy to explain. So if I use the notes to explain the pattern and then you move it into the relevant key, it should be a lot easier. So what you've got is those are your groups of 4. And then what you're doing is coming up in a group of 6. So as soon as you've hit that B note there, you just go up to the top note again. But what the best thing to do is start to work that out and stretch it up. And if it's easier, basically, because the hard part is getting that little finger right up there, is basically... basically try and add a fret each time if you're still working that out, if that makes sense, and sort of train yourself up for that. Obviously that's played in E minor because I'm in standard tuning, but if you wanted to respect the track, you'd have to move it down to B minor, which is terrifying. 7, 10, 14. They play in baritone tuning, which means you would play it there, but if you were to play it on a standard tuned guitar, it would be there, and this is even harder. Much, much harder, but give that a try nonetheless. An added bonus of playing this lick is you get the Beat It Stretchy lick as well that Eddie Van Halen did. I've also done a tutorial for that. Click that card right there. Now for some diminished arpeggios. Now this is probably the most painful lick for me to play out of all of these. And what you've got is essentially a string skips diminished pattern, and you're coming down in a group of 4. Slide down 3 frets to 9. So you got... then we hammer on 12 and then 15 on the G. Skip over to the high E, pick 9, hammer on the next 2 notes, and then come back down in another lot of 4. Same as before, it's literally the same lick, you just come down 3 frets. Sorry, excuse me. That kind of idea. And then what happens is I go back up to do another round of it, but then instead what I add is I then go up and then tap 18 on the high E to give it an extra bit of flair, so... and then resolve on 12s. So you can see the whole thing slowly. There you have it. Since I'm a Steel Panther fan, I thought I'd end on this one because it's a little bit weird. Now, this is probably the weirdest lick to choose, or to transpose, I should say, because it doesn't sort of advertise itself as an easy one to put next to anything we know, but it's actually really easy to do. Let me explain it very quick. You are playing in the key of C sharp minor, and what happens is you're starting off with 4 and then 9 on the high E, pick and then hammer on, On the B string, we're then playing 5-9. G string, we're playing 6-9. Same on the D. Then on the A, you're playing 6-7. Then up we go again. Same notes we played before, then we're going to G8. And you're probably thinking, how am I going to position this next to something I know? Well, if you can see across the fretboard pretty well and know where the first position of the pentatonic scale is for most keys, you'll notice that when we hammer on this first one, it's where the starting point of C sharp minor pentatonic is. It's the root there. So supposing you wanted to find the lick, look for where your little finger's going to be, as opposed to it being, right, I've got to look where my index finger is, if that makes sense. And that's how I position it for everything. Supposing I wanted to put it into E minor, look for the 12th fret. And then put it into there. If I wanted to put it in F sharp, look for F sharp, which is 14th fret. And that's how it works. Thank you very much for watching this video, you guys. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you would like some one-to-one tuition with me, please check the description box. My contact details are in there if you would like to book a Skype lesson with me. I have a healthy roster of students all around the world, and everybody's seeing great progress in their playing. So please get in touch if you would like some more personalized lessons from me. Thanks so much, you guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.